Happy Wednesday, everybody. I sure do miss all you guys, and I hope you're doing great things. I know you're working hard. And then I also want to make sure you guys are doing some fun stuff too. So make sure you're getting out and get some exercise, having fun. I saw that the Bunch Huttons have a huge park nearby, so I hope you guys are getting out and walking your dogs and having a great time in the park. And Ryan, I didn't get a chance to see you. I'd love to chat. If you send me a time, I'd love to chat with you on Zoom or even just talk on the phone. And I left my cell phone number on all of our sheets with our parents. So feel free to contact me if you guys need anything at all. All right, so hopefully you have already gone in and taken your really short post assessments on Edulastic for customary measurement. That was your work from the last 3 weeks. And then making sure we were ready to kind of move on with adding and subtracting. And remember, you were working on Khan Academy as kind of a reteach, just like we do in class. And then if you wanted to work on some fun things, you can use Splash Learn. And all these items are in on your gold sheet that shows all your codes and all of the login information that you could possibly need. All right, so yesterday we worked on your ERQ questions. And if you didn't finish those up yesterday, hopefully you're doing at least one a day, and these do need to be done by the end of the 2 weeks. So feel free to be working on these just a little bit every day. All right, so today we're going to work on multiplying fractions, and this is where we were right when we left, and we hadn't yet mastered it. We were just kind of getting our learning bridge firmed up. You remember, we learn it once, we learn it twice, we keep practicing, and our learning bridge gets stronger. But we're going to make sure that we're ready to go. So we're going to work on multiplying fractions lesson 6, multiplying fractions lesson 7, and we're going to do these in 2 different video lessons. And then also there's a place for you to practice because I know the more we practice, the stronger that bridge is going to be. All right, so we're on multiplying fractions lesson 6. This is page 739 of your book, and I just ripped out your pages for you. All right, so our standard today is I can multiply fractions and mixed numbers. And then we're going to be moving into I can solve multi-step real-world problems with these fractions. All right, we said fractions. Remember we made that huge list of all the ways that we use fractions in real life? This is probably, this and measurement are the 2 skills in math that you're going to use more than any other skills. So here we go. We're just going to start from the beginning. Franco ate some pizza. 2/3 of the pizza is left. Now I want to draw your attention. Whenever you see that word of, that's going to tell you multiply. Remember in algebra we talked about that too. Deidre ate 3/4 of the leftover pizza. How much of a whole pizza did Deidre eat? So 3/4 of 2/3. And that's the same as multiplying. So we talked about how the commutative property, and this is going to be really important as we get further in, the commutative property allows us to rearrange these numbers. So I'm going to go ahead and rearrange. 3/4 times 2/3. Remember in fractions, we multiply both the numerators and the denominators. And so they just did 3 times 2 is 6 and 4 times 3 is 12. But I want to remind you that 3 times 2 is the same as 2 times 3. And if you use the commutative property to switch your numerators around, you can clearly see you can reduce some of these fractions. So what would I reduce 2/4 to? Yeah, 1/2. And what would I reduce 3/3 to? Yeah, 1 whole. Well, we know any number times 1, hopefully y'all said, is that number. And that's the identity property of the multiplication of 1. So we have been calling this the butterfly effect because we don't always want to write out all the different steps. And in the beginning, and I'll write down the steps sometimes, but it's if you use your butterfly, it'll help you. So is there a number I can divide 2 and 4 by? 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Notice that is the same thing they have right here. Is there any number I can divide 3 and 3 by? 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. Notice it's the same thing as right here. And so my number is 1/2. All right, so flip your paper over. And the standard does say that you need to be able to use and identify models. So I know you guys don't like using the models all the time, but we're going to make sure we keep those skills up. So find the area, and I want to remind you that area is length times width. Those are our geometry standards. We haven't gotten there yet, but we're going to get there in the next couple of weeks. Area of a rectangle with a length of 3/4 of an inch and a width of 5/9 of an inch. So they broke our model into 5/9 and colored in 5, and 4ths, and they colored in 3. So we have 5/9 times 3/4. And if you count the shaded tiles, there are 15 out of 36 tiles. You could count them, 5, 10, 15. Now we can divide these, because remember our magic numbers. Say them with me. 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13. We can divide the top by 3, which is 5. And remember, have your factors chart out. Feel free. 36 divided by 3 is 12. 5. Can't divide by 2. Can't divide by 3. Can divide by 5, but can't divide 12 by 5. All right. Can't divide numerator by denominator by numerator, top by bottom. Done. All right. So this is how, so this was the model that we've been using. But now we're going to move to, now they switched, or they didn't switch, they just multiplied 3 times 5 and 4 times 9. But we're going to go ahead and start using our butterfly. Do I have a common factor between 4 and 5? No. Do I have a common factor between 3 and 9? 3. And remember, we can do this because 3 over 3 is just a fancy 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. Now we're going to multiply across. 1 times 5 is 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 5/12. So you can either multiply and then reduce, or you can reduce and then multiply. It's totally up to you, whichever one you feel like is the easiest way to go. Would the product of 2/9 times 1/3 be the same as 2/9 times 2/6? Now, whenever I ask you these questions, in class, you're used to me pulling popsicle sticks or just kind of randomly calling on you. And I can't, obviously, I'm not in front of you, but you need to be answering these questions in your head just like we were in class. Would it be the same? Yes, it would. What do you notice about 1/3 and 2/6? They're equivalent. In this one, it was reduced before. This one, you would have to reduce after. All right, so guided practice. 1 times 1 is 1. 7 times 2 is 14. So 1/7 of, 1/2 of 1/7 is 1/14. All right, we're going to move on to page 741. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3. and we're going to do a couple on the next page, and then you're going to finish it up. Now, I didn't assign you the homework problems to do. Those are going to be for extra practice. So if you're feeling like you need to practice a little bit more, you're going to use those homework problems as a place for extra practice. All right, so we're going to start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 6. 3/4. 3/4. If you have a highlighter, you can be highlighting these. So 3/4 of 5/6. I'm going to go ahead and butterfly. Can I divide 5 and 6 by the same number? Nope. Can I divide 3 and 6 by the same number? Yes. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Now we're going to multiply across because we know that in multiplying fractions, you multiply the numerators and the denominators. 5 times 1 is 5. 6 times 2 is 12. Now we're going to do it without reducing first, and let's see what we get. 5 times 3 is 15. 6 times 4 is 24. I can reduce both of these by 3. 15 divided by 3 is 5. 24 divided by 3 is... I did something wrong. 2, 12, 15, 3, 8. I'm getting 8. What did I do wrong? Find my mistake. Help me out here. 5 times 1 is 5. 2 times 6 is 12. 15 24ths. I'm not seeing my mistake. 8 times 3 is 24. Oh, I can't find it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 15 24ths. Did I write something? 5, 6. Oh, there it is right there. Look what I did. Yep. You probably caught that. It took me way long to catch it, didn't it? So this one's right. Ignore down here. I make mistakes just like everyone else too. 5/8. All right, here we go. We're not going to use our model anymore, so we're going to do our butterfly. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 5 divided by 5 is 1. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. Multiply across. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 2 is 2. Now, if you decided to do it where you reduced afterwards, that would have been just fine. 3 times 5 is 15. 6 times 5 is 30. 15 divided by 15 is 1. And 30 divided by 15 is 2. Same thing, but with a little bit of algebra. So just recognizing a different format. We're going to butterfly. 3 and 7 don't have any factors in common. 4 and 6 are both even, so they have 2 in common. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. Multiply across. 3 divided by 3 is 9. 3 times 3 is 9. 7 times 2 is 14. And those can't be reduced anymore. All right, let's flip over and do one problem on the back. So we're going to do our algebra. Find the area. And we know area is length times width. 7/10 times 1/2 is 7/20. And when you're doing area, you're going to do yard square, because yard times yard is yard squared. All right, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more practice problems to work on today or tomorrow. And I'll see you all in just a few minutes for lesson 7.